Hello everyone. Reinforcement takeoff doesn't have to be complicated. Imagine highlighting a column base once and instantly getting the total reinforcement quantities required without repeating calculations. Today in this class, I will show you how to build a template that does exactly that. So without any delay, let's jump right in. As usual, before we begin to build the template, I would love to show you the completed template first. I'll then provide the details. This is 12 mm dia, and then the corresponding bow width, and then the center to center spacing. I'll provide the length of the pit, 1.2 meters, and the width of the pit, 1.2 meters. I'll provide the cover and then the vertical bend, which is 0.2 meters. I'll then click on OK. I'll then highlight. And with those few clicks, the software has generated the total reinforcement quantities required in those 8 column bases. No manual calculations, no repeated calculations, and no paper and pen. And now I'll show you exactly how I have built this template. So without any further delay, let's get right onto it. To build this template, you click on templates. You then choose the tab you wish to save this template into. If you wish to create a new tab for your template, you can click on this new tab button and then create the tab you wish to save this template into. Next, we ask which of the tools can cover this requirement. Of course, it's the count tool, so let's click on it. We will then give it name footing rebar. We then select the shape we want to see on the highlight, and then tick this box if we wish to control the size of the highlight, and then click on OK. Now we need to customize, so I'll double click on it. I'll then click on advanced. As you can see here in the advanced properties, we have many properties. We now need to create our own properties and then customize them. I want my properties to be in this estimating, so I'll click on any property in estimating and then click on this add property button. I'll then name my first property dia. I'll then click on OK. Next property, bow width. Next property, length. Next property, width. Next property, center to center spacing. Next property, cover. Next property, cover sides. Next property, cover sum. Next property, length bar quantity. Next property, width bar quantity. Next property, vertical bend. Next property, number of vertical bends. Next property, sum of vertical bends. Next property, length bar. Next property, width bar. Next property, total bars. Now I have my properties. Next, we now need to assign units for this newly created properties of ours. So I'll come to the first one and then click on the units, and then the bow width in kg, the length in meters, the width in meters. Next, we now want the software to access these things. So I'll come to the boxes of the properties I want the software to ask me and then take off their boxes. There are certain properties I do not want to see in the form, so I'll come to their boxes and then untick them. Let us now have a look at our form. I'll click on the form. As you can see, the software has asked us these things. However, the form is not looking any good. So we now need to get back to advanced and put it together. I'll then click on this form layout. The form layout allows us to rearrange and adjust. I want the dia, the bar weight, and the center to center spacing to be on the same row. So I'll come to the center to center spacing and then click on it and then move it up. I'll then take these boxes to have them on the same row. I'll then take this other box to have the length and the width on the same row. And then this other box to have the cover and the cover size on the same row. And then this other box to have the vertical bends and the vertical bends number on the same row. I now want C units appear for them. So I'll come to the units and then click on them. I now want the color and the field type to be the last row. So I'll click to move them down. I now have my desired form. Next, I want the software to ask me for a drop-down list from which I choose the dia and the corresponding bar weight and then the center to center spacing. So I'll click on OK to get back to advanced. I'll then click on the dia property. I'll then provide that list I want to see in the drop-down menu. I'll then click on OK. I'll double click on the bar weight property to provide the corresponding bar weights. I'll then change the decimals to 3 decimal places. I'll then click on OK. I want the same thing for the center to center spacing, so I'll click on it. I'll then provide the list I want to see. I'll then change the units to 3 decimal places. I want the same thing for the cover size, so I'll double click on it. I'll then provide the list I want to see. I want the same thing for the number of vertical bends, so I'll double click on it. I'll then provide the list. I now want the software to remember some things for the visuals, so I'll come to the properties and then provide what I want to see in the bar. And then the dia. And then the corresponding bar weight. And now we will have our computation. So I'll come to the first bar where I want to do my computation, and in it I want the cover to multiply by the cover size. Next is the length bar quantity, and in its bar I want the width to divide by the center to center spacing plus the number 1. I want the same thing for the width bar quantity. I'll click on its bar. I'll then drag the length. I want the length to divide by the center to center spacing and then to add with the number 1. Next, sum of vertical bends, and in it I want the vertical bends to multiply by the number of vertical bends. Next is the length bar, and in its bar I want the length to subtract the cover sum and then to add with the sum of vertical bends. I want the same thing for the width bar, and in its bar I want the width to subtract the cover sum and then to add with sum of vertical bends. Next and the last, total bar, and in it I want the length bar to multiply by the length bar quantity. I'll carefully highlight them all and then put them in bracket. I want this to add with the width bar by the width bar quantity. I'll then carefully highlight them all and then put them in bracket. To finalize my computation, I'll click on total bar and then move it up close to quantity in order to finalize my computation. And right here in quantity formula bar, I want this takeoff to multiply by the total bar and then to multiply by the bar weight in order to have my result in kg. I'll then change the units to kg. Now the software gives us the result in kg. I know some of you may be asking, what if I want the result in tons and not in kg? To have the result in tons and not in kg, all you have to do is to click on the bar and then click on these 3 dots and then divide the result by 1000. And once I click this OK, the software now gives us the result in tons and not in kg. Let us now have a look at our form. As you can see, everything is perfect, so I'll click on OK. And now our template footing rebar is ready for use. Let's get back to home to put it to test. I'll get to the tab I saved it. I'll then click on the green button to activate it. I'll provide the details. I'll then click on OK. I'll then highlight. And our template footing rebar is ready for use across multiple projects. Remember, the goal is not just to learn the PlanSwift software, but to build smart reusable systems that could be applied across multiple projects. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next one.